Yo, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Look. I know. I'm super live on a Wednesday. What's going on, people? It's the homie Kynard. Dope Dialogue Podcast on a Wednesday. Be in the house. What's going on, Britt? How you feeling today?
Highly favored.
There you go. Is highly favored, is that like that's like blessed, right? Is
Yeah.
that what that means? Someone tells you they're highly
the
favored, that's just
the
another
church
creative way
the
for black people to say they're blessed.
the churchies say blessed and highly favored, so I don't know if they designate a difference. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's one and the same. We'd have to ask a
How does
churchy
one
about it.
determine that they're highly favored? This is just ordained by God? Because God
I
told them?
mean, if you feel lucky, if you feel like you're in your purpose, if you feel good, then I feel like you're favored, right?
Facts. Wrong with that. Love
You're
that. So you're highly favored on a Wednesday. How's the day been going?
it was good. I was low key today. She made a cake. She kept it cute. She did a little cleaning, did a little work.
Okay.
Nothing too heavy. How about
Nothing too heavy.
yourself?
It was a good day. Um, I
You didn't get
think
on my nerves today.
No, I mean, look, I called you. We got our time in. We had our discussion. We talked about what we was gonna talk about today, and I sent you the docket. You know what I'm saying? You got the information. You're well
I talked
prepared.
all that shit last week, and I ain't gonna hold you. I barely looked at the docket,
Oh, see, that's
but I'm here for honesty.
Are you?
Yeah, so I'm gonna tell you,
Well,
I barely looked at the
well,
docket.
at least you've been honest.
Yeah, I try.
At least you be honest. Um, I've had a good day. Uh, for those that watched last week, for those that have listened, I'm
Mm-hmm.
getting ready to drop a project.
Commercial,
Um,
commercial, commercial.
yeah, the homie is getting ready to drop a project, and it'll be my first official project since 2017. I've dropped a couple of tapes in between, right? But not an official LP where there was a message and focus and purpose behind what I was dropping. And so I released the casting call for that today, and the energy was up because there was a lot of interest. People was hitting me up, even though I wasn't like I'm not. Usually I try and do everything. I try and book and cast, and I'll hire the cameraman, and I kind of provide all of the vision and the storylines. This time around, I am doing a visual EP. Uh,
Come on,
almost
Beyonce.
right. It's almost like a short. I think the time will probably be around 16 minutes. And so
Okay.
I hired, a director to kind of do all of that for me. People was sending me messages. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Bless you.
Thank you.
So I had to direct them to her, but the energy was up. It was good to see people reacting positively to it, and possibly wanting to participate. So it's been a solid day, a busy day. Um,
Kennard didn't ask me to work on this project, just so y'all
oh,
know.
stop it. I was like, Brittany, you should fly out to be in the video. She was like, the one thing I'm not gonna do.
Is
I'm
fly
like,
out
why,
to
Britt?
be
Why you not gonna be
in
in the video?
because I don't want to be in it. If he said, Britt, I need help with X, Y, and Z, I think you would be good for this. I'd be like, okay. But you said be in a video, and I said, sir, I
In
know
the
you lying.
video.
No,
Why not?
no,
I don't understand it.
because I don't know how to be a talent.
I mean, you doing it now. You on the podcast, right?
I'm only here by default because you asked me to be, and I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's funny.
Let's keep it a buck.
That's funny. That's
I'm just here
funny
to
to
talk
me.
talk regular like I normally do.
Yeah, I mean, look, being in the video is at this point you take direction from the director, right? And when you confuse, you be like, "Excuse me, What's my motivation? Bringing, what am I
Someone's gonna be
doing?
like, "Get this, oh, get this bitch out of here." Everyone's
Oh,
replaceable, and she can be replaced.
funny to me. Look, um, yeah, man, it's Wednesday. I'm happy to be here. Shout out to those that are here. Shout out to those that have been listening to the Dope Dialogue podcast.
Where
Today
is
we,
Zeus?
yeah, Zeus, where you at? I know you here,
Where's
Zeus.
Where's Manifesto?
Manifest, where you at? What's going on?
We
They're
calling
like,
people out like
we not typing
we're on their
today.
schedule.
Right. We like, did we start early? Is it 6 o'clock?
Where
So
y'all
look,
at?
today we are going to talk about the perspective of the old head. And the reason I
Mm.
wanted to talk about this was because recently there was an old head who provided his opinion on who the top 10 basketball players were of all time, and he was wrong. And I don't mind telling Dr. J
Ooh,
that he was wrong. Dr. Julius Irving, you are one of the greatest basketball players to play the game, but you are incorrect by not having LeBron James on your list or Michael Jordan in the top 5.
wait. Oh, wait. Michael Jordan was what number?
He was like number 7 or 8. Yeah, Dr. J listed all of the players that he watched when he was growing up, and he kind of came up with to be the 10 best players ever.
Did he
And
put
as
himself in there?
I don't think he put himself in the list.
I'm glad. Okay, good.
Let me
Cause
look at
shit,
Dr. J's list.
how do you put himself in there and left LeBron out and put Michael Jordan at 7? I'd be like, come on, dog.
Right. Well,
No disrespect, Unc, but
yeah. I mean,
disrespect.
he was wrong. He was wrong.
Oh, old people. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, what it did was is it made me think as I consider myself now, right, self-reflection, that I'm an older individual, right?
Ooh, you designated yourself an old head?
I mean, I don't live old. I don't really do what the older individuals do. Yo, what's good, Manifest? We glad to have you. Clearly, Zeus hasn't made it onto the podcast yet.
Hi,
Yeah.
Manifest. We miss you. That's it. Okay, carry on.
Uh, so yeah, I mean, I am 42. I think once you get into your 40s, the world classifies you as old. I don't feel old, except for I do. I mean, I was walking up the steps the other day and I was like, dang,
Whew,
these
whew.
knees is on rickety rack.
Listen, steps and an uphill will humble you. The uphill don't even need to feel like it don't even need to look extreme. It'd be like the slightest uphill. You be walking and be like, "Ooh, wait a minute.
Straight
What
up.
that feel like? That
Straight
don't
up. I mean,
is
really.
this breathlessness? What is
Look, I
happening?"
was trying to walk up the steps and I was like, okay, this is, and I'm feeling like I'm in fairly good health, but for whatever reason, yeah, it just,
Also, feeling lighter than normal. Come on, keto. Shout out.
well, I
Hello.
hate keto, but yeah, I didn't drop some weight. I had to look sexy for my new video or what have
See,
you.
see what
You
happens
know,
when I try to give you a compliment. You do shit like that. I didn't need it.
I apologize. Thank you. I'm getting to it. I'm dropping weight. I'm feeling sexy. None of my
A
clothes fit.
couple lbs then dropped.
Yeah, a couple pounds. We down
How many
about 30.
lbs?
None
Okay,
of my clothes fit.
okay.
I'm
Come
about to try.
on.
They don't know. I'm about to take my shirt off on them in a minute.
He said, I need more than a belt. Understand
Yeah,
me?
I'm gonna have to take my clothes off and I'm gonna take my shirt off and run around butt naked for those that want to see it.
Wait. Now hold on. Nobody said you should do that.
But look, I can't afford to buy new clothes. I was realizing that after you lose weight, like there's this excitement because you
And then just like,
thin.
all right, none of this shit works no more.
But now you can't wear all of the clothes you didn't had in your closet. And I just went through and weeded out. Like I was wearing a size 52 for those that don't know. I'm down to like a 42 now. I didn't
Come
drop 10
on.
sizes. So, but I just started throwing some of that stuff out and getting rid of it because it's not gonna serve me here in the future. But then I was like, man, I ain't got no clothes. But I digress.
Listen,
Right.
I thought about that shit myself. I'd be like, man, if a bitch really tries hard and drops some lbs,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be tight because I
I
got some
got
fly shit in that closet.
facts.
That
Okay.
costs a little bit of money, and if
I
it
was
don't
like,
fit, how many
let me
times can
hit
I
the
take it
tailor up
in?
so they can take some of this joints in. I don't care if
Listen,
the pockets got to be on my ball sacks. Like I got to still wear this. All I can afford. So
but low key, how stupid does it sound? Like, I'll just be a fat bitch because my clothes is fly, as opposed to like, no, I'll be a healthier bitch.
facts. So I mean, I'm doing keto. For those that don't know, I'm still mad about it. It is what it is. But I digress. Let's get into the list. These are the top 10. Oscar
Sorry,
Robertson was number one, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain. The first five. The second five, Magic Johnson, Michael comes in at 7, Larry Bird, Karl Malone, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, it's a dope list. These are great players.
no Kobe
Michael
Bean either.
Jordan, Michael Jordan should not be number 7, right?
No Kobe Bean Bryant.
No Kobe in the top 10, and LeBron's
Aw,
not on it. Now
he's disrespectful.
we're not gonna get too far into the hoop side, right? What we're gonna talk about today is perspective. Now, I imagine that Dr. J's perspective on this is due to the fact that he watched these or played against these players, right? He didn't play against the LeBron, Oscar Robertson way before my time. And then Brittany asked me today, like, as an old head, you don't necessarily like a lot of the new music that's put out, but does that mean that it's trash? No, Britt, you said that. Brittany said
Time
that.
out.
Brittany was like,
Time
does
out.
that mean all of the new music is trash?
You
And
called yourself an uncle first. I didn't call you an uncle off top.
no,
I
you
just want
didn't
that
call
to be
me an
known.
old head.
I'm
No,
still a niece, so
you
I
didn't
ain't gonna
call
be an
me an old
auntie.
head. But you did bring up the fact that the younger generation of music doesn't necessarily resonate with the old head within hip hop, right? It's a
Hmm.
situation where the the old head can sometimes feel like, oh, the music is trash. And I would say I'm probably in a different position because I do music. I am an artist. I respect everybody's ability to be creative. I just accept the fact that a lot of the music isn't for me.
Mm.
Just what it is. If you're talking about killing people, if you're talking about doing Percocets and drugs and designer drugs I've never heard of, like, I'm not the target audience. You know what I'm saying? So,
So it doesn't necessarily make it not good. It just makes it not fitting to your lifestyle.
well, I don't know if I'm even necessarily should I even be the one providing perspective on the music if it's not for me? One of the things about Dr. J, and I saw this, I'm a big hoop head. I love ball. One of the things I saw was Candace Parker actually explaining to Shaq how the game has changed. Now, Shaq is one of the greatest big men of all time, but on TNT's analytics show, she was breaking down the Shaq like, no, they play basketball differently now. The taller guys learn to shoot 3-pointers so the small guards can break you down off the dribble and kick and dish. It doesn't clog the paint. And so, uh,
You said a lot of words.
well, I mean, This is analytics in basketball. She basically said the game is played a different way than when you played it, Shaq. So your
Hmm.
analysis on this may not even be valid.
Shaq is feed the ball to the big guy.
Throw it down into the paint, everybody get out the way, and then because he's so big, somebody has to come off their man to double up. And then you kick it to the open guy, they hit the shot. That's how basketball was played in the past. Now it's dribble penetration, big guys stand out on the perimeter and shoot 3-pointers. Don't clog the paint. And then when I
Dribble.
drive, when I dribble to the basket, you have to come off your guy and double, and I kick it to the open guy. Or we play pick and roll, and you get that's deep into it. But basically, she was giving him the way the game is played now versus how it was played when Shaq played it. And Shaq didn't really seem to get it. Right? Like he was holding on to how he played the game. And it made me think maybe as an older head, we need to listen more. Maybe we are the problem. Maybe the older head, while we may have wisdom in certain areas, could still listen to the youth in regards to what it is that they're trying to accomplish, what it is they're trying to express, except for instead of possibly dismissing them. I think a lot of times old heads dismiss the younger generation because we don't feel like they they have enough respect. Old people want to be respected, and that leads us down a whole different lane. Do you deserve to be respected as an old head? Do you have to give respect first?
You, I'll answer your question momentarily. However, um, I probably spent the last 2 minutes of you talking
Oh shit.
not really.
I didn't I didn't dance around her, y'all. She was like, she
Here's the
zoned
thing.
out. What is
I
this
didn't go
dude
now.
talking
I
about?
was I know, I understood. I was just picking out words. I kept hearing hot take words and then I was
It was
reformulating
a
them in my
lot in
brain.
there. It was a
No,
lot.
no, no, no. I get it. It was just I would hear a word and then I put a stamp on that word. And then I hear another word and I put a stamp on that word and I was trying to connect the dots. So I heard like big guy, penetration, dribble, head. And then I was doing all these things in my mind and I was like, wait, basketball, feed. I was like, whoa, Brittany, it's a lot. And then I lost focus and then I had to remind myself to reel it in because that's not where we were at. We were talking about old heads in comparison to the basketball analogy really fucked me up. But we're back. Do they deserve respect? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, as we get older, I mean, you've told me that you're a woman now. You've matured. Do you look at the younger women now with a certain level of judgment in regards to they're young and they don't know anything? Because that's really
Mm,
how I took Dr. J's comments. Clearly LeBron James is
mm,
from the new school, but you're treating him as if his contribution to the game, he couldn't even be in your top 10. Is that how you look at women who are now younger than you or a generation younger than you?
not really, because I've always been a judgy bitch. So I've been a judgy hoe since I was a 21-year-old hoe, and I'm a judgy bitch now that I'm a 30-year-old hoe. My judginess ain't stopped.
Do they deserve your respect though?
Everyone deserves respect.
Do you feel like
Initially.
you can still learn
Initially.
from the youth?
Yeah, for sure. They got ways and shit that I don't understand that I'm not privy to. So why not? They move a little different, but that's okay. It doesn't make it bad. Just makes it
Let me
different.
ask you this. Do you use Snapchat? Are you a snapping chatter?
I've kind of phased Snapchat out. However, I do lurk on Snapchat a little bit, and every now
Okay.
and then I'll drop in to let motherfuckers know I'm still here. Hello, it's me.
But primarily you're at Instagram.
Primarily,
Okay.
I do like TikTok. I don't post on
But you
TikTok.
don't. Yeah, TikTok is good to watch because it's
Hmm.
but you're right. Participation is maybe not necessarily warranted because I also feel like you have to post in a way different manner. So I'll do it like this. Hold on one second. Manifest said it's the same way our parents and the older generation thought about us when we came up. That will always be the dynamic. That's the growth process. New things come and the old fades away. Exactly, Manifest. But the problem I'm having is as we get older, we're the generation that knows that happens. Should we show more respect for the youth and try and be more in tune with what their experience is? See, my problem is for
I don't think
whatever
we.
reason, what'd you say?
I want to say I don't think we phased out of being the learners yet. I think our generation is the transitional one. Like we're good with rolling with the punches, and when new shit comes about, like even if it's a little beyond us age wise, we're just like, we'll hop on, we'll see what's good, what's cracking, how are y'all doing this thing, what this sound like, what this do. Because I think we're used to technology being very fast and things changing
Right,
rapidly, so we're adaptive as
right,
a generation. Whereas our parents, not so much. And the youth, they're super duper adaptive. They don't give a damn.
right.
They're here today, gone tomorrow.
Well, and I was just about to use social media, and that's why, like, I went down. Where do you fall? Like for me, the generations fall. Like I was the first generation before even my parents, right? I was AOL, I was Yahoo chat
Hmm.
rooms, I was You Got Mail, and
Do you remember?
that
You remember asking people ASL?
yes, I remember.
Ooh.
Yes, right. I was on C
Hmm.
Pixel, right?
Ooh.
I was on the generation that didn't understand MySpace because I was. It was.
Oh.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like when
Hmm.
MySpace hit, I got it, but it was a new form of technology, and then Facebook happened. Facebook made it easier. I felt honestly MySpace was childish. I was at an age where when MySpace came up, it felt childish to me. All of the colors and the letters, it was too much, and I felt that I was above that. When
Oh.
Facebook happened, then it was this crazy tool where I could connect with individuals I hadn't seen in years. I could keep up with them. We could have conversations. It expanded the network of communication. My parents would have looked at that and been like, nah. I mean, my dad told me, I remember when we was plugging into the operator, I need to dial 748 2QSR2V. 1 second, plug, and they would connect your call. So Facebook, even AOL and Yahoo, that was all before them. When
Hmm.
Instagram hit, I ain't get it. It was above my head. And I'm still on Instagram today. I mean, I'm still on Facebook primarily today, and I've grown old with it. That's why I asked, are you Snap? Because I believe it's gone in major generations. It's Facebook, it's MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and now TikTok, right?
Yeah.
And I believe you're right. The
R.A.P. Vine.
flexibility.
Remember Vine? That had a moment.
What
And then it.
happened though? Vine kicked the bucket because Instagram created stories, right?
Instagram will take everything.
Took the technology and reduplicated it, reverse
I think
engineered it.
I think Instagram is the boss. Although Instagram is owned by Facebook, I still feel like Instagram is the boss because I feel like Instagram. I don't know this for certain, but I feel like Instagram has more users,
Well, I think
and I
that
feel like Facebook is a little ageist.
it is. Well, the reason I'm still on Facebook is because my demographic is still. I
And
feel
what's your
like
demographic?
uh my generation.
Uncles
I
and
mean, if
aunts?
we're getting into specifics, I feel like the music I create is, you're probably anywhere from 28 to older, maybe 45. We can really drill down into that.
Mhm.
You didn't have some responsibility, about some baby mama drama, or you didn't had somebody related to that. You didn't probably had two or three good relationships in your life. You may have let the one that you probably should have settled down with go.
Mm,
If you're not in a good situation, you like good music, you probably want to rock a Sunday fun day. You would rather sit down at a concert than stand up the whole time, right? And so this is
mhm,
my Facebook brethren. I like to use Instagram. I think that it's probably more geared towards artistic expression with videos and photos.
mhm.
And so I primarily post there. I've really gotten into Twitter a lot lately because I feel that the conversations there are wild,
Mhm.
right? I've gotten into that during the pandemic. I watch a little TikTok, but I'm still trying to learn how to be effective there as an influence. And I say all of this to say this. I couldn't have been in this position if I didn't learn from young people. Young people shoot my videos. Young people show me how to be creative. Young people have shown me that even though I'm not their target demographic for their audience, not all of their music is trash. Now, I can't listen to it all the time, but when it's good music, I can acknowledge it as being good music. Um, but I don't know if my generation, right, that I think they call it the Generation X or
Mhm.
crossing to the millennials, if we're the first generation that we can look at these kids and like really be able to participate in their life. You see older people dancing from my generation, right? We like to do our old dances on TikTok. You know, for those that's listening, that's a whole dance breakdown for you right there.
It it was a lot of movement.
It
It
was
was
a
a
lot of
lot.
movement. I'm sweating now.
Yeah,
Probably burned some
man.
calories. Hold on, let's see what we get from Manifest. Manifest said, yeah, we can always learn and give adoration to the young folks. You have to think about how the older generations, like Dr. J, feel with not really getting their flowers while they're here and pave the way. Older generation has gotten dismissed, and they built these stages for these young folks to thrive off of. And I understand the resentment. There needs to be acknowledgement from the young folks. Is that the issue?
I don't know. I feel like I just feel like the approach is very different. I feel like a lot of young people, they feel like they get it out the mud. They do it on their own. Um
But they really
where
don't.
well, the like I just said, the approach is different. I just think there are a lot of infrastructures and things years ago that don't exist anymore, and we have ways to navigate getting places without all of the infrastructures, probably because of the internet. Um,
Right. The internet has provided opportunity where there was none, right? Like my
mhm,
parents didn't have the opportunity to apply for multiple jobs on the internet to get
mhm.
educated by the internet. Like to apply for a job back in the day, you had to go through classifieds in a newspaper. You had to walk in person. You had to stand in line with other individuals. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Fill
speed
out a
at
piece of
which,
paper.
yeah, pencil and paper. There was the speed at which information travels now is drastically faster. So there are more opportunities, which then means those that went through not having the same opportunities kind of puts you in a position where if we don't go through what we went through, then you don't have the ability to be here. So I get what Manifest is saying. Dr. J played in the NBA where the racism was probably worse than it is now, even though we see it now. The money wasn't as good, right? I'm sure he's comfortable, but I know he's not as wealthy as a LeBron James. You know, I
Mm-mm.
know Dr. J. I mean, he could be. I'm assuming, but I don't think that that should create resentment in older individuals.
Mm. I don't think it should, but it probably does. I think they feel like if you don't work as hard as them, then you don't deserve. But I feel like the work is different. The routes are different. I don't feel like it's about working as hard. I feel like it's just about working differently.
A lot, right? I believe hard work is still needed, but I do think this is more of the era of working efficiently.
Yeah.
I think that efficiency is more important than the hard work because I put in a lot of hours into what I do, but if you don't have work-life balance or your life outside of your work is not one of happiness and
Hmm.
peace, I wouldn't want to work. Like the days of working in a plant for 12 hours a day only to go home and be an alcoholic and on
A
drugs,
plant. That's out.
you know what I'm saying? And shout out to my people at the plant, but plant life is hard. Going
We
in
had a
10,
whole moment about plant life. I
we
remember that
did.
episode.
I
I
remember
said,
that.
I don't know what these two niggas is
Yeah,
talking about.
plant life, it's a different level of work. To be at a job for 12 hours. I remember when I was in the workforce early on and I was hearing about how millennials were coming in and saying, like, no, work from home has to be an option. I don't want to come in here and look at you. And I couldn't believe it. That's something my generation wouldn't have been able to ask for. But because these people were so talented and you needed them to push the technology forward, the Googles and the Facebooks allowed it.
They
Oh,
said
you
we
want
gonna
to?
get our 2 days a week at home.
Yeah, no, we working from home, homie. We not coming in. We can produce
Not
just
every
as
day.
well at home as we could if we being here. So I want to be at home, play some video games, do some code, eat some Cheetos, be in my drawers, and run the world. And I need you to
Straight
accept
up.
that and give me my $85,000 a year. And they did it
Yeah.
because that's what the youth said they wanted. And then when you look at those companies, you see them being successful. And so I would just tell the older generation, the old heads, don't be so quick to dismiss the youth. Don't be so quick to judge the youth. Their experience is drastically different than yours. I would almost say it's more difficult.
Hmm.
I don't know. I've had some very embarrassing moments in my life when I was a young kid. I don't know how I would have handled the peer pressure as a youth, possibly being made fun of on camera, falling on camera, being bullied on camera.
Yeah. It's different. Produces a whole nother levels of like anxieties and
Yeah,
social awkwardnesses and
yeah.
bless
I
them.
think I think that a lot of times old heads, like you said, we get into this, oh, because I did it this way, this is the only way it can be done. Yeah, one of the other ones I hate is the new math, right? So I got a son and they teach math totally different.
That shit is wild.
And when I went through it, I know a lot of the parents I get it. You feel dumb when you can't even do remedial second grade level math. I get it. But the
But
other
don't
side
discredit
is
it.
maybe this newer way is a better way long term moving forward.
And maybe it's a way that they've established works better for how these kids' brains are developing and working.
Correct.
I feel like other things were very linear, other ways of teaching kids, particularly since that's what we're talking about. It was a very linear thing, and I don't think that's in place anymore. I think they understand that there's like ebbs and flows and a lot of um, a lot of different dynamics to how people learn and take in information. So if they
Right.
develop some new shit, then run it, see how it goes.
All I've tried to do, so when I started doing music, I had a couple of my people tell me, like, yo, that was going to be impossible. You'll never be able to do that. And you won't be able to accomplish it. It's a young man's game. But I found myself adapting. If I tried to do this as a normal 42-year-old man, shit would be mad ass. Right? It would be mad ass. It would be dookie, because
Dookie
it,
juice.
it would be. It would be. Because that's what I started out. When I first went through the regular cycle of doing music, I'm gonna make an album, I'm gonna do this release, I'm gonna shoot one or two videos. Nigga, that's outdated. That's not how music is made anymore. They do playlisting. And I just figured that out. Now I will say being older, I don't learn as quick.
True.
I can't get my
Totally.
15-second TikToks done as quick. Maybe my creativity isn't as quick, but I'm not beyond trying to learn and trying to figure it out and put myself in uncomfortable situations so I can be adaptable and so I can survive within the market. Manifest said, I'm saying none of the young folks big up the older generation who did it before. That's like your kids saying they were mad successful on their own, but no ode to you, uh, not paying, but pay homage always. Hold on, done. And what is that? He may exceed, which is what you want, but pay homage always. I've seen LeBron James pay homage to Jordan, even though I don't think Jordan wants him to pass him because he's competitive. He's paid homage to Dr. J. If anybody is a student of the game, LeBron James' IQ he's a computer when it comes to basketball. Supercomputer. And so I don't know if Dr. J didn't feel like they've been acknowledged. I think NBA is one of the sports that probably puts on for their legends more than any other sport. I don't know if I can say that about basketball. And rap is trash. But I think that a lot of the younger generation feel like the older generation didn't welcome them in. You wanted to stop their money. You didn't give them the knowledge. And to a certain extent, I agree with the younger rapper. Why is the young rapper still going through what the older rapper was going through back in the day? Why are young rappers still signing trash ass deals if these older rappers who are now broke and ain't got no money didn't tell them? Yo, don't sign that ass deal. You should do it this way. In rap, that happens all the time. Is that like that for women? Is there anywhere in the female experience where you like the older woman didn't pass down the knowledge to the younger woman, so the younger woman doesn't really look at the older woman as a respectful figure? Is there anywhere in there that you've experienced that or not really?
Not so much. I feel like old ladies always try to game.
So older women always share game.
I think they try to, yeah. I think a lot of times they think they know everything. They don't necessarily know how the world is moving right now, but they give their perspective as they know it. I don't think they ever hold information.
I think everybody thinks they know everything.
Oh damn. Mm-mm. Not me. I'll be the first one to be like, I don't know nothing about nothing. I know a little bit about a lot of shit. I'm a master of nothing.
That's an
Tell me if
interesting
I'm wrong.
question. I will admit, I definitely don't know everything, but I do know where to go to get an answer. You know, like if I don't know it, give me some time and
I
I'll
know
get what.
someone who knows it.
Yeah, I know somebody that knows somebody, and I'll get the information. I think due to social media, a lot of us, myself included, put on and lead on that we all have our shit together. We want others to believe it, and it may not necessarily be true. I think in that area, wisdom and the older generation can provide value. If somebody said, "Well, what do the older generation need to do?" Just provide philosophy. That's all that's required. As an old head, I don't think it's my space to tell you what you should and what you should not do. I don't believe that it is in my realm to say that your expression of self is right or wrong. The only thing that I can provide are the philosophies of wisdom that I've learned. If you don't like somebody or their energy isn't vibing with you, let them go. Why keep that toxic energy around you? Right? That's where I think wisdom and old heads should provide value and wisdom. Hey, I went through this experience. It seems like it may be similar. You might be able to learn something. Am I wrong? Is that okay for old people to provide? Can we provide wisdom? I wouldn't tell you what to do, just what I went through and what happened for me.
I feel like that's appropriate always.
Do you help others? Do you provide wisdom to others that are going through bullshit? Do you be like, hey, bitch, you know that nigga ain't shit? You know why? Because
Wow.
wisdom tells us the
Wow.
experience that you've been going through for the past 6 months, there's a pattern. The wise would say to leave that Negro alone. Do you provide that type of wisdom for your peoples?
I try to, but I'm not going to do it a whole bunch of times about the same situation because now you're wasting my time and my energy.
Wisdom. I don't have the level of effort or energy to continuously do the same thing over and over, and you just gonna do the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Save it for
Like,
somebody else because it's not for me again. Once, cool. Twice, all right. Three times, I'm don't come back over here with that. I've literally told people I don't have it for you on this anymore. So we're gonna have to move on from this. Unless you plan on doing something different and sharing that prior, I don't have it for you anymore.
and I think that at that point, old people should let young people go in the same manner, right?
Hmm.
If I'm an older individual or I'm an old head and I try and give you the game 2 or 3 times, you don't seem to be receptive to that. Old head, let it go. Ain't that important. Let them
It's all
live their
right.
life and
They'll
experience.
figure it out.
I love my brother. My brother is a perfect example of this. It's funny that we make fun of him because he always goes against the grain. He always makes decisions against what we feel he should do. Recently, he was, in this relationship situation and it spilled over and became family business. And
Oop.
everybody in the family came to a consensus. Yo, my guy, this is probably the move. Another time, yo, we told you this is probably the move.
Nay unto thee, he says.
The last time they say, yo, Kynard, why don't you just talk to your brother? And I don't have the time. He gonna do what he wanna do.
Regardless.
He gotta figure it out. There's nothing else I have to offer in that situation. He's not going to listen. Do what you gotta do, young buck. And then when it happens exactly as we said it would, I'll just offer up, yeah, I know what it is. Manifest said because they don't want to listen, that's the point. Young folks reinvent the wheel just like we did because we thought we knew how to do it different. But when we get older, it hits us upside our heads. So do we stop bucking the system as old heads? Do we just say fuck it and not even try and offer up the information?
I'm a niece.
Which is awesome because you're still you're in that transition phase, niece. You're in that transition phase. You're on your way, Brittany.
I'm not an auntie yet. She's still a niece.
Britt, you're in the bridge. You're the bridge though, because in a minute, 5 to 10 years.
Let the world open back up. I have a year and a half. No, the world took a year and a half from me. I'm gonna get it back. So when I get it back,
basically, you saying the aunties would have to offer up the information to you, but you saying as well, you about to be out here regardless, so you don't want to hear none of that.
Vaxxed up. Getting all the info from all the places in all the ways.
You know what? I'm done. Look, old heads, a lot of young kids do what they want to do. All right? Participate, give effort, try and learn, and don't be an old curmudgeon. Okay? LeBron James is the best player to ever play the game. Michael Jordan is number 2. And now we're going to get into some news.
Wow.
News alert, news alert, news alert, news alert, news alert, news alert, news alert. All right, look. The first topic we got. Let's take it to the homie. We're going to take it to the homie. We're going to take it to the youngster. We're bridging the gap here. The youngster, Soulja Boy, said that...
Soldier.
He doesn't get how people are calling him an idiot. And as he went through what he was talking about as an old head, he started listing off his resume, and I was like, he has a point.
He's just obnoxious.
He is obnoxious.
That's it.
I think that one of the reasons we don't view Soulja Boy probably with such regard is because you almost feel like he's still immature, right?
How old is Soulja Boy? Let me do the Googles on that.
I'm looking it up now. He's 30 years old, which is insane to me. Chris Brown Bow Wow is 34. Okay, these and I
Come
guess
on, Shad. Don't disrespect him. His name is Shad Moss.
Well, I didn't say little Bow Wow. I said Bow Wow. It's crazy, you know, when I was listening to their music before, but I still look at Soulja as a young kid. He's still Soulja Boy. Tell him he's 18. And the one thing with child stars is we look to see maturity from them. And I don't know if we don't think he's that mature.
No, I don't think that's the case. I think it's the exact opposite.
We don't expect maturity from them as they age.
I think child stars get caught in people thinking that they're children forever and they don't grow like everybody else.
Yeah.
Because people be looking at them crazy when they start doing grown-up shit and they be like, but bitch, they're 25. Like,
facts.
What is the big deal? Like, they're
facts.
Not 14 anymore.
Yeah. Well, look, let's hear what Soulja has to say.
Oh no.
But if he's it's certain words that you don't say that's disrespectful. Oh, he's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's a whoa. Hey, why are you insulting my intelligence?
Hearts.
I'm an idiot. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's pure hatred. That's not what it, that doesn't have nothing to do with the video game console. My intelligence. Your opinion of my intelligence. You think I'm an idiot because of what? Because I had a problem with the first release of my console, so I'm an idiot? Are you serious? Come on, man. Big Draco, man, stop playing with me. I'm worth $30 million, but I'm an idiot. I released the #1 hit single at the age of 16 and made over $1 million, but I'm an idiot. It's a difference. You're not gonna.
Come on, Instagram. Play me.
At the age of 16 and made over $1 million, but I'm an idiot. I made $7 million in 1 year at the age of 18 and went on the Forbes list, but I'm an idiot. I've been relevant for the last 15 years, and every artist that came out when I came out fell off, but I'm an idiot. I've closed multiple multi-million-dollar deals throughout my career, but I'm an idiot. I've been nominated for a Grammy, but I'm an idiot. My first album went platinum, but I'm an idiot. I was on YouTube before you to even make that video to call me an idiot, but I'm an idiot. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm a genius. Idiot. I released the.
So, our friend Soldier Boy, get him, or tell him, said he's a genius. Do we concur?
Are you asking me if I concur with the information that was given to the audience that I couldn't hear?
No, I just told you. He said
Oh,
Soldier Boy says he's a genius. Do you concur?
you're a genius if you believe so, Soldier. I can't tell you you're a genius. You have to think you're a genius. So sure, if he could be a genius to him, I don't have to think he's a genius. I don't really think he's a genius. I think he's made some bops, but I feel
All
like
right.
he's annoying and
So I'm gonna rattle off what he said. Soldier Boy
go ahead.
said he made $1 million at 16. He made a
Lots of
million. He
people.
made wait, hold on. He made $7 million at 18. Nominated for a Grammy. He's closed multi-million-dollar deals. He was on YouTube before YouTube was YouTube. Kind of built that culture. He's one of the first influencers. While he didn't start dance culture, he made it popular on video. He's still relevant 15 years later.
I don't disagree.
I mean, we talking about him. I mean, he has one of the most viral moments in hip hop history. I don't think we'd ever forget Drake. Drake. I don't think we'll ever forget the tired Gucci headband. Right? I mean, the boy does the boy Soldier he has moments.
I don't think all of those things makes him a genius. I think all of those things make him a person who capitalized on the time in which he was coming up. Because I feel like that could be said for a lot of people who came up during the time he was coming up.
Okay, marketing genius. It's hard to have longevity in hip hop, because it's not even about the music anymore. That's the one thing I learned from the youth as an old head. It ain't even about the music. Y'all don't even really give a shit about the music. It's more
Does he
about the
really need
personality.
marketing? Does he really be doing much besides Just acting a little obnoxious on the internet.
Yeah, I think that's a part of marketing. Isn't that? I mean, when
I don't
50
know if it's
Cent when
marketing or
50 Cent
not.
attacks somebody, that's a part of the marketing strategy. They even made it known. I think Chameleonaire said that when 50 attacked him, 50 was like, bro, I gave you an alley-oop, which means he did it on purpose to create drama for marketing purposes. So yeah, I would say that Soldier Boy, a lot of that is part of his marketing. Now, I don't know if his story on Vlad TV, blah, blah, blah. I shot him in his ass. Blah. I don't know if that was marketing. But those that don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, everything that we're talking about as far as, like, all these Soldier Boy accolades, after we chuckle. Does that, like, we talked about his raggedy ass headband and he shot him in his ass. Blah, blah.
Blah,
Great.
blah, blah. John, hold on.
You
blah,
like
blah, 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 blah. And I took his mask off. And I was
gimmicky.
Like, damn. It was like, so you knew him? Yeah, but I can't get into all that. Vlad was like, is he alive? Oh, yeah, I can't even really speak on that. Blah, blah.
Shut up, Soldier.
Manifest said, Manifest said, whoa, son ended off the segment with LeBron 1, Jordan 2. That's Black Rob saying, whoa, that's a mad debate. Then he said, Soldier Boy is and was ahead of his time.
Sorry, I'm back.
No, you straight. I switched screens. I know Tyrone was texting you. It's all good. And then Manifest said, yes, Soldier Boy is a genius. I would tell you the same effect that a Michael Jordan or a Steph Curry or a LeBron James have had on basketball, Soldier Boy has had in the music industry. Once again, I remember being a 25 or 26-year-old individual who remembers when he was 16 and I didn't get it. What the fuck is this shit? He revolutionized the music industry at a time, and he was at the forefront. I don't know if I could call him a genius.
He revolutionized?
He did.
Some shit?
Yeah, no, he did.
You're not going to say he was just there when all of these things made it he was just, I feel like he had an opportune coming.
No, he revolutionized it.
Okay.
He did.
Okay.
Now, some would say that there were others.
This is one of those things when I was like, I don't like to argue a lot. So I'll be like,
I know.
Bet,
no, but just for the purpose of we gonna go under it a little bit more, right? Was it the record company? Probably using the technology. But that's just like having coaches and being LeBron James. You got coaches that help you get there. Your mom and dad, they help you, etc. So yeah, I think so. That's me. I'm not nobody. Let's get to the next topic. What's
next on the docket?
My homie is a huge music head. And today, Top Dog Entertainment, the Post.
Mm-hmm.
The wait is over. 5/7/21. We getting the Kendrick album. Britt, is that what this means right here?
Listen, I'm over here in LA adjacent, and I don't know. I hope so.
What are the streets saying? I know you got your ear to the streets. Is it time for a Kendrick album? We got a Kendrick album in 2018. It's been 3 years later. We haven't heard from Kendrick Lamar.
What was the gap between 2018 and the previous?
Let's look it up.
Probably 2 years.
To
At
Pimp a
least.
Butterfly? Yeah, probably about 3 years.
So if that's the case, he's right on time if it's him.
Oh, well, they said Damn was 2017. I think it was the end of 17, though, and ran into 18.
Damn was 2017.
Oh, it was. It was April 14th of 17. So he do. That's 4 years, player.
It's about
He
right.
do. He do.
To Pimp a Butterfly was what year?
2015.
And Good Kid?
Yeah, it was March of 15. He went 2 years and gave us Damn. Good Kid was October of 12. So he went 3.5 between that and the Pimp a Butterfly. Then he released the Untitled Unmastered. And then he gave us Damn.
It's about right.
And what I love about this is that in an era where music,
oversaturation is easy.
yeah, and this dude is like, nah, I'm gonna take my time. A lot like Kynard, Kynard released one in 2017, and now I'm on par. I mean, I went February of 2017. I'm coming June 2021. So me and Kendrick, we on the same wavelength. That's what we got in common. Just in case anybody was wondering if there are any commonalities between Kynard and the great Kendrick Lamar. We both dropping projects this year. So at least I hope.
We'll see by in 2 weeks?
Yeah, 5,
A
7.
week?
Do you hope that it's Kendrick or SZA? If you had to choose, because SZA do too.
Either would be fine with me, but the one that I would play more personally is SZA. But I'll play the hell out of Kendrick too. Because I didn't feel Damn like I felt Good Kid, Mad City or The Pimp a Butterfly. Good Kid, Mad City was my fave.
Oh, Good Kid, Mad City was, yeah. Now I know he dropped section 80. Right? But I don't think that was his first major release. His first major release was Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, Section 80 was a mixtape, and I played the hell out of that, and I played the hell out of Good Kid, and then The Pimp a Butterfly I played a little bit less of, and Damn I played a little bit less of that. So, but I mean that has to do with a body of work where SZA only really has one album and one
Control,
EP.
right? Yeah,
one album and one EP. So
yeah, the goddamn EP came out in 15. And we ain't even got no Wikipedia. And then Control came out June 9th of 2017. Also, my co-host said that I got a hater spirit on me because I dropped The Weeknd. For those that don't know, The Weeknd is one of my bigger songs. And SZA dropped The Weeknd and hers blew up. And mine did not blow up. And she was sharing on weekends. And I was talking about partying on the weekends, and I'd like to know why my shit didn't pop.
Because partying on the weekend, everybody talks about that. Not everybody talks about being a hoe and sharing a nigga. That's why.
So basically, I have to talk about sharing a hoe, dude. I don't know if that's gonna really fit with what I be doing.
I don't know if sharing a dude resonates with your brand. But
yeah, that isn't really what I be doing. Yeah,
if that's in your spirit, because I mean, niggas talk about sharing bitches all the time, so it's not really the same. It doesn't have the same sting.
Yeah, dudes always share. I mean, yeah. So is SZA the queen of this thought movement? Because she was talking about sharing.
I don't think she's a queen of the thought movement. I think there's other louder hoes out here.
Oh. Okay.
I just think it was an interesting take.
Oh.
And a very beautifully arranged album.
Yeah, it was a dope album. I liked it. Minus the Weeknd song.
You crazy. That was one of the best songs on the whole album.
Better.
Yeah.
Not better than mine. Brittany has lost her mind, y'all. That being said, May 7th, Top Dog Entertainment announced.
I guess we'll see next time, huh?
The wait is over.
What it is.
Gotta figure it out. All right, next we are moving on to one of my favorite podcasts, the Joe Budden podcast. I love Joe Budden podcast. I think that Joe Budden is definitely at the forefront of the podcast game for creatives, for minority creators, and really, I really fell in love with his podcast as well as his interviews of hip hop artists, and I felt like he really found his lane, and so I watch and I pay attention. For those that don't know, Rory and Mal, his cohorts, have not been on the show for the past month and a half, and they just came back and did an episode. I've not seen the whole episode, but here is a clip from what was just released.
I totally understand.
About the feelings that adult men have to not only tuck,
I understand that,
but express and deal with. That's what I'm talking about.
I totally understand
You niggas left your job, Mo.
That's not what happened, Joe. Joe, you looked me in my face and told me this show was none of my business.
Yeah.
That's what you told me.
I was there.
That's not crazy to you? Is that not crazy to you? If you say no, it's no. Like, I'm not here to put how I'm designed on anybody else, bro. I'm asking you.
Well, if it's one thing that we should have all learned from this is you can't do that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
You can't.
I'm just asking you. If somebody told it's something you helped build and pushed and never really argued about shit, just kept, fuck it, let's keep it moving. Let's keep doing what we're doing. And they tell you years later, yo, this is none of your business.
I don't think I should have said that to you.
I don't think you should have said that either. But I'm asking you, if somebody
I
said it to
also
you,
do not think that was should have been, because I don't get to speak what should have happened, what did happen. I don't think it should have been the domino that you sitting here saying that it was. But I can't tell you
wasn't.
How to feel about some
that
shit.
Wasn't the domino. That was like, oh. That was the, oh, okay.
Mo, you rode with Rory before that. How you think I looked at that?
What you mean I rode with him?
That was the O.
About him, about you telling him not to come in?
About him, anything.
About you telling him not to come in? Of course.
Him.
Of course. Of course I'm going to ride with.
And I would like you to
co-host.
speak to, I want you, I'm not dealing with him right now. I'm looking at you.
And I understand that.
I want you to speak to what that means.
He's our co-host. That fucks up the chemistry of this whole thing. If you remove him, if you remove you, if you remove Paul, it fucks up the whole chemistry. That's what you're not understanding.
Well, I hate to be the guy to break it to you. Oh, let me not say that because that's not true. I hate to be the guy to break this to you. I don't foresee any world in the world where you're supposed to ride with Rory.
What?
I don't.
How do you figure that?
And let's clear it up from my perspective.
Hey,
how do you figure that?
I'm here to pod. I'm here to pod.
Let me be clear.
I'm here to pod.
Riding for the show.
Okay, so
I'm here to pod. You
whatever, you here to pod.
It's no.
Riding
No.
I'll let you
all about the feelings that adult men have to not only
right, so that's the end of the clip. And for my co-host, due to the way the audio is set up, I'm not sure if she was able to watch that on her phone. Basically, the conversation between them was, they left the show. I'm sorry?
Joe, you try to play me.
Yeah. And so basically, it seems like Joe's feelings were hurt about something that took place with Rory, and Mal sided with him. Right? So I get into an argument. If we had a third person, I get into an argument with that person, and then Brittany sides with the other co-host against me, and Joe's feelings were hurt. And in retaliation, he tells Brittany, yo, the show ain't none of your business anyway. Now, I want to talk about this because I identify with it. This kind of took place a couple of weeks ago when we had the conversation about the little league that I was running. I think in a lot of ways I've been like Joe Budden, where I was like, this is my shit anyway. Fuck it. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Mm.
But I think that this also goes to the conversation about mixing business with family. Or being in a business relationship with individuals that you have a close relationship with. A lot of people don't know I've never met Brittany face to face. We met on Instagram. I saw some of her stuff was dope. I was going to hire her at one point pre-pandemic. We were getting to a point where I was like, yo, Britt, we should do it. But we had dope conversations about the work that I wanted to get done. And so I was like, yo, Britt is dope. Her whole vibe is life to me. I love her visual presentation. Through that course, I asked her to be on the show because we would have dope conversations just about work and what we was doing and what it was. And she said yes. And so eventually myself and Brittany became close. I feel like we're family. But that does make things weird when business is involved and things are said and feelings are hurt. I want to see the rest of this episode because I feel like Joe Budden probably owes his castmates apologies. Sounds like he did something. He acknowledged it. He said, I think what we've learned is I shouldn't have said that. Right?
That was some hoe shit.
And if you've
say
worked,
sorry, dumbass. How about
Right.
that? Just apologize.
just say you're
think what
sorry.
we learned is that
Right.
I shouldn't have said. No, what did you learn? Not we. Let's not talk about we learn. What did you learn? And as a result, what should you say? How should you have handled it differently, Joseph?
Right.
I'm
Now-
saying clearly.
All that being said, I don't understand yet what went down with Joe Budden and Rory. But whatever it was, Mal said, no, Joe, you wrong. I'm riding with Rory. Right?
I like Mal.
I like Mal too. Mal remind me of my homie Keon Bailey. Boom. It's just an even cool dude. And he's never too far on one side. And I believe in his judgment about being right. Which I believe Joe probably cares about both of these individuals. I believe that their family, they probably had a disagreement. They needed to have a little therapy. And now they're discussing it in front of us.
Lucky us.
What'd you say?
I said lucky us.
Well, I think that we can learn from it. Because the truth is I had to apologize to my people. We had a whole episode about it. I had to go
you
back
apologize?
to... Yeah, I said I was sorry. I said I was in the wrong. The way that I handled it. The sentiment might have been right, and I stood on my principles, but the way that I delivered the message was incorrect.
It was trash.
Yeah, and I ended up hurting the overall product, which Joe, let's be honest, he hurt his product because he had to bring some new people in. He hurt the chemistry. The Joe has obligations. The show must go on. But it seems like Joe is feeling like y'all just walked off the job. Like, regardless of what this was, we should have continued to work to figure it out, and y'all decided to leave. But I commend them for doing what they felt was right and not being held hostage. Like, nah, if it's none of my business, then I ain't coming to this motherfucker until it's made my business. Or you acknowledge that and say you sorry.
I'm not on Team Joe here.
I'm not on Team Joe either. At all. I think Joe was wrong. I commend Joe for moving forward, though. He ain't let the show stop because He has business interests. I commended that, but if you wrong, homie, just say you wrong.
He
This
probably
little
saw a plummet.
did they plummet? I don't know if it went
I
down
don't
or
know,
not.
but I'm saying he might have seen it. Like
I
when
know
you
people.
change the whole dynamic of what people are used to, they're probably like, they might
Well,
have seen like
but you know
some
what?
viewership drop.
You know what? Can I be honest with you though? And it was the same thing that I kind of had the conversation with my people.
Huh.
Sometimes change is good. I think that even in the situation where I was having arguments, right? And it was heated discussions about what was going on. Sometimes change is good. Maybe it isn't working the way it needs to work, and we have to go back to the drawing table, you know? Or you figure it out. Now, I think that this situation is probably more valuable to have them on, but I believe that something is going to change. He had to say sorry. I don't think that he going to handle it like
What's
that
going to
moving
change is
forward.
how he talks to them, probably from here on
Exactly.
out,
Exactly.
and how you're not going to disrespect me. Like I don't have nothing to do with it.
Right.
Oh.
Now, for those that don't know, I've tried to pay Brittany multiple times. She will not allow me to pay her. But I hold her opinion on the show in high regard. I ask her all the time. Usually her response is, Kynard, you know I don't be giving a fuck. But I at least
it's accurate. About 90% of the time.
To say, Britt, what are your thoughts? What you want to talk about? What we gonna do? Even though Kynard started this, I started it with Britt. So if you donate, right? I know you looking at the little script. Let's go back to it. You see at the bottom, you can donate.
You see the ticker. You see the
on the ticker, and you put cash into the Cash App because you support the show. $ Kynard, Kynard, KMG. Then I would split that amongst my co-hosts for being here. I wouldn't be an asshole and be like, oh, well, I broadcast the show and I do the marketing for the show and I do all the. No. This is Britt's show just as much as it is my show. Don't be an asshole, Joe Budden. Don't be telling people it's not nobody's business.
When I quit in a couple weeks, it'll just be Kynard, so you don't have to worry about it.
No, fuck that. Zeus said no. Zeus said that can't happen. So I just identify with the clip. I know that I've been through it. I think that I'm very self-aware. I know I'm an asshole. I know Joe Budden's an asshole. So when I watched it, I was like, nah, Joe, you wrong. And you wrong because I've been in the same spot and I was wrong. Now I want to know what happened with Rory, dog. What took place? What happened? So y'all tune in, Joe Budden Podcast. We're gonna figure it out and find out what's going on.
I wonder if Rory, if he's a part of White Boy Summer or not.
No, I hope not. I don't really. So if I'm being honest.
Don't let your hater out. Hold on now.
When I watch the show, I would much rather hear Joe Budden and Mal speak. For me, Roy doesn't add much for me.
I ain't gonna hold you. I don't really listen to the Joe Budden podcast much.
It's Joe
Every
Budden.
now and then I tap in, but
yeah.
I'm not really checking for Joseph and company.
It seems like they're back. And that is that. Y'all check out Joe Budden Podcast. The last topic we are going to cover is not really news. Me and my homie Brittany, we were having a discussion. Some information found its way back to me about my ex. I don't be checking on my exes. I really be hoping all my exes are in Texas, like George Strait. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to Drake. I really don't care about my exes. I'm very content in where I am in my life, in the decisions that I've made. People are exes for a reason. But I don't wish them any ill will. But I did make the joke after I found out, like I won in that situation, right? And of course, I was. It's tongue in cheek. I don't, I hope the people that I was with, that I cared about when it was their time, are doing well. I don't wish anybody ill will. I take
Never.
responsibility for my childishness in some of the relationships, and the reasons that women decided that I wasn't a high value man to them. I accept that. But I don't check for my exes. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? In that regard, if you're not with me anymore, all I can hope is that you're finding happiness in life, and I wish you the best. Me and Brittany started having a conversation, and I asked her, like, what do women do? And so Brittany explained to me that she felt, you know what, Brittany, what is it for women? What are women doing?
I am not going to speak for the entire delegation here. I'm just going to speak for some of us, and some of us includes myself.
Okay.
Um, I am a believer of the X now next
X,
theory.
now, next.
Yes,
Okay.
I be I be checking up sometimes. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not above it. I be wanting to know what these Negroes is doing every now and then. I might meander to their socials. If someone drops me a little bit of information, I might ask a question or two. I might be like, "Oh shit, really? How'd that go for that person? That's interesting." Um, just because I'm petty. But the X now next is my theory that we all have our eye on three people until a certain point. Not forever, but it's always three people. I think it's your ex, where they at, what they doing, how they looking, what they life like. Yo now, what they doing, what they looking like, where they at. And when the now, if the now fuck up, I got my eye on the next and what they doing and what they looking like. I don't think I'm wrong, but some of the delegation be doing this. I'm a believer in this theory because when now mess, like I said, to a certain point, because when now fuck up, you got to have something in the pocket most times. But there is a period of time when you're content with now, and now is good, and you ain't checking for the past or the future because you're in
Right.
now, and now is perfect. But when now start fucking up, you start looking at next,
Okay. So
and
I
that's that
I
on
got
that.
I got question.
Oh God,
Shout
what?
out to all of my exes. If you checking on me, no, I'm Gucci. Life is great. I could never be better. Right? Do you
I'm so petty
feel
that sometimes I like when they even like an old, like they like a picture that I post. But like, oh, why you do that? You ain't supposed to be over here no more. You ain't supposed to. This what you doing? You ain't supposed to be double tapping on nothing that I'm doing. You don't like me no more. We ain't friends no more. You don't know me no more. You can't acknowledge that you're paying attention to me because that's not a part of the rules.
right?
You just look quietly. Oh, but the satisfaction that my petty heart gets. Oh, it's good.
The manifest said, manifest. Thanks for hanging with us today. Manifest in the house. That's why he ain't got no social media. Nobody knows what's going on with Manifest. It's silent this way, so they are bothered hard.
Wow.
Well, I do got social media. And once again, if you checking, you ain't gonna see nothing but me doing music. I don't really share about I don't share much other about my life other than what I really want you to see. You know? I don't need you in
I
my
think that's
relationships.
everybody.
Yeah, but I feel like this generation, they want to show who they with, why they with them, and then when they break up, then they act like they were never with him before. You know?
I listen. If you put me in the thick of your relationship in social media and you tell me how y'all moving every single day and how great everything is, and then all of a sudden it's dead silent and y'all ain't together no more, I need an explanation because I feel like I'm a part of this shit. I'm
Said
invested.
you didn't invest in some time.
Yeah, like you just wipe the nigga from all your social media and he ain't nowhere to be found. Hold on, what happened? 2 weeks ago it was great. Y'all was in Atlanta having the time of your life, and then a
Right.
month before that, you was on. What just happened? I need to
Right.
know. Y'all been together for 3 years. Tell me something.
Well, the problem is that once again, when you're in a
Shit.
relationship online and in the public, it's one thing in front of the cameras, totally different thing once them cameras is on.
That
Shout
part.
out to Keita Rose. She actually shot a sketch where they were celebrating. They were doing a comedy sketch celebrating their relationship on YouTube, and as soon as the cameras went off, the conversation was mad different, right? And so that's one thing. You know, I think that we share, or there's this desire to share more information about yourself so you can be liked or you can get attention. All that being said, my fear is if a woman is checking on her ex while she's with her current, looking for her next, how can you be fully committed to the moment that you are in? Now, I understand pettiness, even as a man. There have been times where I did look at an ex.
You say that
and
bitch
was
is down
like,
bad.
Oh, that nigga ain't better than me.
Right. Sometimes you
Right.
just
So
gotta.
I've had those moments, but like, how long are we checking for the ex? Right. Like, I could see if it was 2 or 3 months later. Yeah, maybe.
No, I'd be beyond that.
So, like, we still looking at our ex at like a year after a relationship is over?
Sometimes.
You said that like, don't judge me. Or no, you said it like, I don't give a fuck if you judge me. Sometimes, yeah. Year has gone by and I might look in on your ass.
I might. It's even worse when you have like friends and family in the mix of the shit because they be like tiptoeing trying to figure out like what you know, what you don't know, what you want to hear, what you don't. Like, do I just be quiet? I got friends and family that are assholes and they don't give a damn. My homeboy was like, "Yeah, oh boy, you see his new joint? He posted her. You see her?" I said,
Oh,
"Nah."
damn.
He was like, "Oh yeah, he came in to get
See,
a
that's
haircut."
toxic energy. You gotta
It's
let
okay.
them
It's
people
okay.
go.
He's my nigga though. He was like, he came in to get a haircut, and I just need you to know, like, your eyebrows are way better than this bitch's. Also, she smokes cigarettes. Trash. So he said all the shit, and he was just like, I don't know, like, she dresses real bad. Like, he did bad, dog. Like, and I was like, all right, bet. That's how you feel? He's like, yeah, he lost one. He lost one, dog.
Do you feel good when you find out about this? Does this
No, because I can look on it. I can look on Instagram or Facebook and see it for myself.
But is there a feeling of joy knowing that your ex did worse than what you were?
No, not a feeling of joy. As long as I don't want bad for nobody. Legit, I don't.
No, you cannot. You can be in a position where you don't want bad for somebody, but you're still happy that they couldn't do better than you.
Just because I think I'm flyer, that doesn't mean anything. I'm flyer for somebody else. I'm not fly for you. That's okay. That bitch is fly for you. That's cool. She dusty to me, but she fly for you, and that's okay. Because she's probably better at something else that I was trash at, and that's okay.
Well, and
For
that's the
you,
thing, right? That's
for
the thing.
you, that's okay.
I think the assumption is like if we don't work out in a relationship and I move on and I find someone else, it doesn't mean that that person is necessarily better than you. It may not even be a comparison. This person may do something totally different that you didn't want to do, or it wasn't. You weren't capable of doing it,
Yeah.
and because this person does it, is what I like. You know what I'm saying? And so that's just the way the game go.
But I'm still gonna look a little bit.
I don't.
Listen. I check in every now. Also, I think that's the nature of women. We're nosy
Yeah. Well, I
and
think
we're more
dudes too.
petty.
But now that I think about it, like as I go back and I start to evaluate, I think if I
Also,
did,
they always come back.
right?
Always.
Facts.
Always.
Facts.
If they ain't coming back, it means you're trash. You did it.
Or you just moved on, found something you like. It isn't about always
And
coming back for me. I think what it is more for me is like if I did check on you, it was because I wondered if you was okay. I've never looked back on an ex and was like, oh, I want to get in a relationship with you. I might have looked
Okay,
back at an
let me
ex and been
clarify.
like, I want to smash. But that was within a certain time frame. Usually once I got past like the year, if I was past the year, like I don't need to, I didn't moved on. I didn't probably smash some other and I'm Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Like the Facebook
and also-
rekindling never got me. I was never one of the ones like, oh, yo, I like Facebook couldn't trip me up like that because it was over.
And when I say come back, I want to say not necessarily like I need you back
Yeah.
necessarily. That and also that might be the ultimate motive, but there's always like a let me touch back and see how this person's doing.
Right.
Let me make sure you good. Or
Right.
I thought about X, Y, and Z.
Right.
How were you? You was mad 8 months ago. Like you hated my guts.
But consciously, our minds, we always forget the bad.
Also,
Except for me.
I'm prideful.
Well, for me, if we didn't work out and we've spent an extended amount of time away from each other, then I'm going to just assume the same issues we had originally, the same issues we going to have moving forward. So there's no need to even, like, I wouldn't broach it. Matter of fact, this ex, the information I was fed, there was a time where we knew mutual people and we were in the same area, and they asked me like, yo, she's still fucking with you. Just, would you ever consider? And I kind of felt like it came from her. I told her, no, I'm straight. Like, I'm Gucci.
The answer is no.
Yeah, for what?
It's a no for me.
Right? And I mean, in that particular situation, though, a lot of times I'm gonna just keep this real G. A lot of times in the situations that I was in, a lot of times the breakups really surrounded the pursuit of wanting to be involved in the entertainment industry and the amount of time that I had to invest. And a lot of people don't understand when you're trying to be an entertainer or you're trying to be in entertainment, you're going to have interactions with the opposite sex. You're going to have an extended amount of time invested in these things. And when you're trying to be in a dedicated relationship, it may not necessarily work out, or that woman may not necessarily understand, or that man may not necessarily understand the time that you had to put in and the relationships that you had to build with people of the opposite sex, which then means to be with an entertainer or somebody that's doing this, You have to be very secure in what it is that you're doing. You got to probably have some other shit going on in your life where you're not really dependent upon that person. And so a lot of my relationships ended because that's what I was pursuing. You know what I'm saying? Manifest said he got a lot of trash bags out there.
Oh, shit.
He said, well, you're a Virgo, you cut the cord easy.
Manifest is a Virgo?
Manifest is a Virgo.
Oh, shit.
You know how them Virgos be.
Listen,
So-
I done been caught up by a Virgo or two.
You can caught you one?
I said I done been caught up by a Virgo or two.
Oh, you was caught up. You was in the mix with the Virgo?
I fuck with Virgos.
I fuck with Virgos too. Virgos are dope people to have around. Good people. They keep it real.
Virgo women are different than Virgo men, though.
I got Virgo men and women are both homies.
I got homies too, but the Virgo women are a little bit loud. Virgo men are loud in multiple ways. I fuck with Virgo men though. Let me find out. Hold on. Let me stop. Go ahead.
That being said, let me check the weather. It sounds like I'm hearing some.
What?
Got to go outside and take this little thing down. Okay.
The sky is bright here in Southern California.
Yeah, no, we're going to get some rain tonight and it look like it's coming through.
We doing
all that
good.
being said, I just wanted to understand the dynamic. As a man, I think men always keep their options open until she's the one, right? Until you sit down, and even when you dealing with the current, as a man, when you decide, nah, she the right one for me, I think a lot of times in your mind, you probably are still looking at what could be next. Because you don't know if it's going to work out. You know what I'm saying? So I think men probably do the same thing. They probably look at
They
exes.
do.
Yeah, they probably look at exes.
They be having whole girlfriends.
Yeah,
looking
well,
at next.
They be
Whole
having whole
wives
wives and looking at next. Yeah, whole wives
Right.
and looking at next.
Like, how you do that? I
Yeah.
mean, some people will sign up for that assignment in life, but also,
I get it.
You're
It makes sense.
you get to look around for the next.
I get it on both sides. I mean, I don't think it's conducive to current. I think it can produce a lot of insecurities. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's too much access to people.
Right. Well, and I think that then becomes the conversation. I think that if you're going into a relationship with somebody, you have to accept the fact that it's going to be a high level of sharing until you have the conversation about exclusivity. It's just what it is, my guy. You meet a chick, you can assume that 2 or 3 dudes are banging that out. You meet a dude, you can accept 2 or 3 women are banging that out. Until you had a conversation with exclusivity, that's the assumption I would make. We're sharing right now. Now, as long as you're understanding the sharing is taking place in this situation until you have the conversation, just continue to date and find out if this is the person that you could see yourself with long term. I think that men have an ego. Oh, she can't. It's only me. No, dog, it's not only you. Women have evolved. Brittany just told you there's a consensus that look at backward in their current situation and forward. Don't fuck up. She has access to more than just Tyrone. There's a Leroy. There's a Chet. White boy Summer. You know, women are diversifying.
I don't know nothing about pink penis. I would like to put that on the record.
Well, that just made a whole turn left. So what we are going to do is get into the next segment. As soon as pink penis is mentioned on the show, we clearly have to go to what's next. We have a new segment for you. Brittany, what is our new segment? What is our new game?
We're doing One Gotta Go today.
Explain One Has to Go for our audience of Manifest and those that are listening.
I'm going to give a series of options, And I'm going to need you to deduce which one is worthy of being banished until the end of time and why. We can debate it.
So should I have one remaining, or am I going to only say one has to go? Oh, okay. I know what I got to do. I'm going to say why they going to stay, and then I'll make the last one why it got to go. All right. What's the first question?
The first one is soul food sides.
Okay.
Cornbread, greens, yams, mac and cheese.
So,
which one stays off top?
Off top, mac and cheese stays first. I don't care what holiday. I don't care what function. That starch has to stay. I need that mac and cheesiness.
But people can fuck it up.
Even if you fuck it up, I'm keeping it.
Good?
It's gonna be the first one that when I look to see what's prepared. Because the truth is if it's good and it's the only item that's good, you can eat that by yourself.
Okay.
I can have 2 or 3 servings of mac and cheese with nothing else at the soul food. So I'm going to keep mac and cheese first.
Okay. You're left with yams, greens, and cornbread.
I'm going to keep cornbread second if it's sweet cornbread with some butter.
I concur.
It's got to be sweet cornbread, Grandma. Don't be bringing that 1952 cornbread that you made. I don't want that. It has to be moist. But I rank it second. It has to stay second because sweet cornbread is like cake. And we all know fat boys love cake.
A little honey butter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The third I would keep.
Wait, this is your deciding factor.
Yeah, this is.
So of greens and yams, which one is leaving forever? Forever.
Is the yams in sweet potato format or like yam format?
What is yam versus sweet potato format?
Well, sweet potatoes is
like
prepared.
Yams?
It's as a pie. Yeah, candied yams is like slices of the sweet potato.
Candy yams, not a sweet potato pie, not like a souffle.
Okay, cool.
Like a candy
then
yam.
The one that's leaving is the candied yams. I would much rather keep the greens. For some reason, the candied yam to me is only great when prepared as a sweet potato pie. Candied yams, I'm straight. Even with the little marshmallow on it and the glaze, I can't eat it. Sweet potato fries, I can't do it.
Here's the thing. I was with you, and I thought you were going to go the way that I thought you should have went. I, however, am going to get rid of greens.
Why are you getting rid of green? It's a staple.
I understand. But also, there are viable substitutions for greens.
What?
You can do cabbage. Everyone loves a good cabbage with some bacon and some bell peppers and some onions in it. Don't play.
Okay, you can do cabbage.
You can do cabbage. You can get you a good old nasty long cooked green bean situation. They still got that little bit of like vinegary taste.
Right.
There's viable substitutions. If we get rid of greens, we can sub in something else, and we'll still be straight with the.
Well, that's why mac and cheese.
If you take out the yams, there's nothing that fills the yam spot like yams.
Yes, it is. Mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes aren't sweet.
They don't have to be sweet. They still provide the same texture as a potato.
I don't think they do the same thing, but we can just disagree. We can
agree to disagree. Manifest said greens gotta go. He can do without that.
Manifesto, he's a Virgo.
I feel.
Come on, Manhattan. We on the same page. What's up?
I think it's more of a texture thing for me. I'm not into the texture of the candied yam and the way it's prepared.
Okay.
But I'm a finicky eater like that. What's next?
Movies.
Okay, movies
I
is the
don't care.
topic.
Friday, the original.
Okay,
Coming to America.
okay.
House Party.
Ooh, okay.
Life.
Unfortunately, this one is probably okay. So the first one I'm
Who
keeping
stays?
off. Coming to America stays first, right?
Okay.
That shaped me as a young kid. It just classic. The second one that stays for me is Friday. Because once again, I never experienced California life. Right? I'm a kid from the Midwest. And you know, it just is a classic. All of it. I saw my parents and Craig's parents.
Mm-hmm.
I saw family friends in Smokey and Smokey's mama, the crackhead, Ezel, taking a boo boo. You know what I'm Miss
It was
Parker.
familiar. You
It
knew
just
these people.
yeah, I can relate to it. It felt like life. You know what I'm saying? Well,
So now your
what's the
two
last two?
options.
Yeah,
One of these is gonna go forever. You're never gonna be able to watch it again. It
yeah,
never ever existed.
yeah.
House Party or Life.
So there's absolutely no way that I could get rid of House Party. House Party came at a time where I was like the generation before that, and I wanted it bad. I was like, oh, we gonna do house parties. It's gonna be dancing and girls, and like I'm 10 and 11. You know what I'm saying? I literally thought, like, even with like the Huxtables and Different World in that time frame, as a young kid, I'm thinking that this is what life is gonna be because this is what I saw on TV, and I fell in love with Tisha Campbell, you know, and all and Martin, you know, and Kid and Play was cool, and it had the bright colors and like that time period for me
Manifest
brings
said you
back.
already done fucked up because he said Friday.
I don't know how Manifest got rid of Friday. How you get rid of
Manifest
Friday,
is
Manifest?
nuts.
You can't get
Manifest,
rid of
we were on
Friday.
the same
I
page
think
today.
you get rid of Life just because one, it's a negative movie,
I'm getting
regardless
rid
of
of
how
Life as well.
it's a negative movie. Even though it's funny, it's depicted about African Americans in jail. I've had enough of that in my life that if I didn't have to watch another movie about us going to jail, I'd be okay. So Life, I would never watch again. I'd have to keep the other three. I might watch House Party tonight. What we got next? Facts. I might watch it tonight. What we got next?
This is going to be in our life category. No pun to the previous mentioned life. Good credit. No taxes. No student loans. Or your ideal body.
So which three stay and one leave?
Mm-hmm.
Repeat the first one again.
Good credit.
What's the second one?
No taxes. No student loans. Or your ideal body.
So the first thing that I would want to keep is good credit. I think that's good credit is probably the most underrated Let me change that. Nope. I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna go left field because
Are you
as
doing this?
I've gotten
Are you just being a
older,
troll?
huh?
Are you just being a troll, or do you mean this? With this go left?
No, I mean this. I think
Okay.
initially when I thought about it, this is different because we're saying what are the 3 you're gonna keep and the one you get rid of. The most important to me is health. So I would say my ideal body. Now, I'm overweight and I'm a fat boy because I love food and I'm an emotional eater. Today we was getting good energy about the video. I wanted to eat. I heard some bad news. I want to eat. So if the first thing I could keep, it would be my ideal body. Okay.
Okay.
I want health. Because health is more wealthy than anything, okay? You can have bad credit. You can have student loans. You have all of that, but if you ain't got good health, you up out of here. So I'm going to keep good health.
Okay.
The second thing that I'm going to keep is good credit. I need it. I want it. I believe that we should, as African Americans, try and find ways to be not so dependent upon it so we can maintain it. The problem is when we get it, we're so dependent upon it, we put ourselves in bad situations and we cannot pay for it. I love what Little Duval said. It's a very simple concept. Don't buy it if you can't afford it. And to pay for it outright. In cash.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a $20,000 car, save $20,000. But I know that that's unrealistic for a lot of people, okay? But I would say good credit is second. The third one, the defining one. I would say the last thing I'm going to keep and the one that has to go is taxes. Or I'm sorry, the last one I'm going to keep is taxes. The one that has to go is student loans. I think that
you'll hold on to the student loans.
No, I'll hold on to taxes.
Not paying taxes.
Oh, it's not paying taxes?
You're going to be able to not pay taxes or not have student loans.
Oh, I'm a say not paying taxes. I'm going to keep not paying taxes. The one that has to go is student loans. No, I'm gonna keep the student loans. I'm not gonna pay taxes. The student loans mean I went and got some education.
And you're paying for it. And
I'm paying for it. I'm gonna not
pay. The
pay
great thing is you can pay for it over a long period of time.
Yeah. But that feel like too much.
And hopefully if you have a good job, it won't be a terrible situation.
Yeah, you're right. Usually it's leveraged. It was a smart idea, but it puts kids in a bad leveraged position, especially if you don't come out with the skill set and the knowledge of networking. If you don't know how to network, it don't matter what kind of, you know what I'm saying, education you got anyway. But that's my experience.
Talk about that.
All right, what we got next?
Do you want to go music, nasty, or current? I'll let you pick the category.
All right, let's do one more. I'm going to go one more. Let's do music.
Jodeci.
Oh.
Drew Hill. Boys to Men. New Edition.
So the first one I'm going to keep right off the bat is New Edition. Okay. I don't know if y'all know this, but as an artist,
Uncle,
as a musician, New Edition, I was them. I was a singer when I was growing up. Okay, nobody could tell me that I wasn't in New Edition. I was in the group. I was the member y'all never heard about. Okay,
bless him.
Candy Girl, Mr. Telephone Man. Can You Stand the Rain? It's just too many hits to name.
I already know who you're going to get rid of. I already know. I can feel it.
New Edition. The second group Jodeci. Keeping them. Okay. I didn't know until I knew what Jodeci was talking about. You gotta understand, when Jodeci came out, I was in the 8th grade. I was on the verge of going through my hormonal change.
Hello.
Okay.
You said,
Even
what these
to
grown-ups
this
about?
day, fiending, that's the problem. Okay, that's the problem with these young men. You don't want to just admit that you be fiending for it. You be fronting. You be acting like you don't want to be with her. And that's why she out here sharing. Okay? Facts. I was in Jodeci. Y'all didn't know that, though. Okay? I was a part of the group.
So many groups.
I wrote Fiending. Okay? I might listen to that tonight.
Along with watching House Party.
House Party. She taking me back. Now, this actually is one of the easier ones.
Yeah, I knew
for me.
Do this to me.
Okay?
I knew.
There's no way that I'm getting rid of Boys to Men. Okay?
You
Boys to Men.
Loving ass nigga.
Yeah, look. Kynard love the ladies. I need y'all to know this, okay? If Kynard could sing to you all night, he would. Okay? And I would do all the harmonies like Ray Charles, okay?
Jesus.
I do the alto, soprano, the baritone, and the bass. I got all 4 harmonies. I know y'all don't know this, but this is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Drew Hill, let's not sleep, okay? Drew Hill had a run, but I don't think it was as long or as impactful as the other 3 groups, right? Drew Hill had a run, and then they had some internal strife in a group. There was some money situations that affected them being together, and then Cisco went on to have an awesome solo career, right? Now, if we talk about it,
if you get rid of Drew Hill, that means you get rid of Cisco altogether.
right?
Just so you know.
No, you do. But if we talk about it, I don't know if any song was as big. Well, he wasn't a part of the group, but I think Thong Song. I mean, we'd have to look at the charts. I mean, with Jodeci, Candy Girl, and yeah, I think that Thong Song was probably the biggest song out of all the groups. But then Cisco's the guy, so I don't know. But
Beauty, what about Beauty? Beauty is her name gonna be gone forever?
Beauty is her name.
Shit.
It's a dope song. But
Never
I
Make
just
a Promise?
It's a dope song. Drew Hill's a great group. I just don't think it's in the caliber of the other 3.
And everything.
I mean, can you get rid of New Edition though? Can you? No. Can you get rid of Jodeci?
No, you can't get rid of Jodeci. But
I know, boys,
I
you
could
can't
think about getting rid of Boys to Men. I could think about it.
Motown Philly back again? Come on. The collaboration with Mariah Carey, End of the Road, Boomerang.
All the weekend.
I was saying that to girls all the time. I tell her, look, you don't know. You haven't been here. Woman, I love you.
I'll Make Love to You. That was a good one, too.
I'll make love. Come on now. They even had a Christmas album.
Good.
The Christmas album was banging. Come on.
Damn.
You can't get rid of Boys to Men.
I might get rid of New Edition. Hold up.
Oh no, you bet not. You can't have Boys to Men or Jodeci without New Edition.
Hush your mouth. Cool it now. Telephone
I understand
now.
that.
But
Can You Stand the Rain? I would get rid of New Edition.
Houseway.
I think I would.
You would keep Drew Hill over New Edition.
You don't know that there's a very soft spot in my heart for Cisco, and I don't know why it exists, but it's there. That little platinum headed man, I don't know why, but I like Cisco. Unleash the Dragon was my joint.
All right, y'all. The show is over. We've been on here for
Well,
2 hours and 5 minutes, and I just found out my co-host would get rid of probably the greatest black R&B group of the 80s and the 90s.
I really would have to think about it, but I think that's where I'm leaning. Because I would have to get rid of Drew Hill, and I really like Drew Hill. And I really like Cisco. And you know what it is? I think I made up my mind. It's the boyishness of the songs. I was never a young boy, and when New Edition was popping, I wasn't caring about what they were saying because that wasn't for me at the time. I feel like I resonate more with the songs of Drew Hill because that was my time. And I could understand the things when the things were out. That's all.
First of
I think
all,
it's a matter of time.
I want to keep this real.
Candy Girl was 83. I wasn't even born yet.
Right. Okay. Those are songs that I liked, but Drew Hill's not done one song better than Can You Stay in the Rain? They don't have one song, not even the thong song. There's not one song in Drew Hill's catalog that can even compare to Can You Stand the Rain? It's not one.
Never Make a Promise?
No. Beauty is a name. None of them.
Beauty might be the one.
Can You Stand the Rain? That song is essential about, look, yeah, it's dope. We have a good time when things are great, but can you hold me down when everything ain't rocking? There's no way. There's no way. There's no way Drew Hill.
Somebody sleeping in my bed.
No.
My bed.
No, it doesn't come close. Can you stand the rain? Do. Come on.
You're so
Tell her. Storm will come. And Johnny laid into it too. Storms will. Johnny went hard.
He dedicated himself.
When Johnny came in.
I legitimately think it's just a matter of.
It is. It's probably
time.
preference.
Cool It Now, 84. Wasn't
that one, but it was a dope song.
It was a great
Cool
song.
It Now,
but also, I wasn't born yet.
No.
When was Candy Girl?
Plus, then you getting rid of Belle Biv DeVoe, you getting rid of Poison, you getting rid of Bobby Brown, My Prerogative, you getting rid of Ralph Tresvant's Sensitivity, it's not
Ralph
even close. I could accept it if you said, you know what, I would take Drew Hill over Boyz II Men. Nobody in Boyz II Men really went on to have a great solo career.
They didn't. That's why it was up for debate. For me, it's between Boyz II Men and New Edition. But I think because of the peak
timing,
of New Edition time,
you aged out.
I got rid of New Edition.
Popcorn Love. Come on. If it isn't love,
song.
why do you see that way? Me on my mind.
That's how much you love it. You don't even know the words.
Yeah, I always sing songs like that though.
Remember Hot Tonight? Do you remember that joint? It was like 2004, 2005. It was when they tried to make a comeback. It was a bop. I was in college. I remember. Anyway.
No one here remembers that but you.
Well, hey. That's why I made the choice that I made.
Oh, funny to me. Well, look, y'all, that's going to be it for the Dope Dialogue podcast. We appreciate y'all for checking us out, tuning in, and hanging out with us. Shout out to the homie Manifest. Shout out to my homie Britt. Look, that's it for tonight. We're going to catch y'all next week. And we out.